Welcome. In front of me is a Samsung Galaxy Tab A. Now this is the 8-inch model from 2019. And today I'll go over unboxing along with an overview of the device. So let's just pop it straight open and get straight into it. Nothing interesting in here. Obviously the device itself in a nice little fabric. We get a charging cable, which is a bit dated. Now, I don't remember, I think in 2019 USB-Cs were already dominating the market, but apparently this device, being a budget tablet, decided to ditch it and include the micro USB plug to USB, which, you know, I don't like that one bit. Okay, now moving into the charger that is right over here. We get a, what is this garbage charger? This is... Oh wow, that is terrible. That has got to be the worst charger I have seen in the past decade. So this is and brace yourself for this, 7.8 watt charger. This is a margin better than just plugging it into your computer. So honestly, save the environment. Don't include a charger like this. Don't even produce chargers like this. We all have computers. We can plug our device to a computer, which by default it will provide us with 5 watts. I think I can live with just a 2.5 watts less, right? Or no, 2.8 watts less. So yeah, just don't include chargers like this when they're so garbage and trash. Then outside of the completely abhorrent charger, we get some paperwork and a SIM eject tool, and well, honestly that's about it. So not much more to mention here. So let's just get rid of this and get the actual tablet here. And let's just pop it open. Whoop, and there we go. Power it on. Come on. Oh, well, I'm not pressing the power key, I'm pressing the volume button. So there we go. And hello, tablet. Can you? There we go. So this is an 8-inch device, which probably the name should suggest. Resolution here is completely garbage at 800 by 1280. So yeah, this is quite bad. It's a TFT panel, so again, this is nothing special. It's actually fairly bad. Now, honestly, the panel that's here, I haven't seen it yet, so we'll see it once it actually boots fully in. But overall, TFT are just kind of like the back in the day kind of thing. Also, 71% screen to body ratio and 189 pixels per inch. So I'll just quickly change the language right here. So the device, as you can see, not the fastest thing out here. Come on, a little bit quicker would be nice. So honestly, if you're getting this right, well, now in like 2021, do yourself a favor and don't. There are way better devices nowadays out there and that will outperform this, and honestly an 8-inch display is nothing really significant. You can get phones that come close to this, honestly, with a smaller footprint than this thing has. Like, these bezels could amount to an entire phone screen on nowadays, basically. So yeah, it is quite dated, to be honest, in terms of design and how it performs. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend it if you're planning to buy it right now. Let me max out the brightness. Voila, there we go. So this is maxed brightness on here. It leaves a little bit to be desired. It is kind of overblown on the camera, which makes it look a little bit brighter than it actually is. But yeah, that's just an illusion how the camera is set, and honestly It's right now okay. It's not even like bright, it's just okay. An indoor environment, which makes this, I presume, be unusable in direct sunlight. And that is to be expected. It is a TFT panel right here, which yeah, I wouldn't expect much brightness out of it, and also like viewing angles usually on TFT are kind of bad, but honestly here it looks okay, which makes me think that it's actually not a TFT. I think this is actually an IPS display, if anything, not TFT. But that's kind of what I'm seeing right here as a spec on a spec sheet. Supposedly is, but honestly, looking at it, it looks more like an IPS. So just keep that in mind. But the resolution looks trash, and I can actually see it. And I'm not the person to pixel peep on things like that, but I can see the pixels from where I'm sitting right here. I can see like the edges, for instance, of the icons being a little bit jagged. So yeah, the resolution here isn't anything great. But moving on to the camera, there's only two different ones, and they're not all at the front. So at the back we have this little thing, and this is a puny 8 megapixel camera that shoots at 1080p 30 frames. Honestly, don't expect much. It's a tablet with really budget specs. And then at the front we have another camera. This is the one right over here. This besides it is actually a sensor for how much light is in the room, and it basically uses that sensor to brighten or dim the display. But this camera right here is just a puny 2 megapixel camera. So honestly, I am gonna turn on the camera, even though I truly don't want to see the results. But I feel like I just gotta do it. Yeah, so oh, that sound. Okay, so there is just the single photo right here. Let me flip the camera and take a selfie. Oops, whatever. I guess I can go through here. So here we got the plant, and honestly the picture is overblown. There is too much brightness in it, and just the actual sheer quality of it. It's usable, I guess it would be the correct word. It's not great, but it's also not bad, which I guess is the best thing I can say about it. Now moving on to the selfie, this is just bad. Like, it looks like it's going through some kind of pixel blender and just makes it all a mush. There is zero detail in here. Like, you can see that everything that should be a detail is just a blur. So it's pixelated, and it's also grainy, and it looks bad. It looks really bad. So yeah, the front one, 2 megapixel, trash, absolute trash. Okay. Now moving on to the last part of this overview, we're gonna touch upon just the specs of it, which basically we're gonna start off with the fact that it comes with a Snapdragon 429. So nothing really special right here. At least it's not Exynos. I guess that's the benefit here. I truly hate Exynoses, especially considering I'm from Europe, so all these Samsung devices that come out here come with their trash Exynos, while, you know, the good Snapdragons stay in US, because why would we all have the same product when we pay the same price, when we can have an inferior product paying the same price? But anyway, so this one comes at least with the Snapdragon, although that'd be not a very powerful Snapdragon, actually, just kind of bad one. It also has a 32 gigs built-in storage, 2 gigabytes RAM, expandable storage by an SD card, 5100 milliamp hour battery with this abhorrent 7.8 watt charger. So that's just insulting, honestly, to be included with the device. And and a fairly compelling price of 130 euros. So the price here is probably the best part of it. At 130 euros, there's not many other devices you could go for. I know that there are like the Mate pads, one of those Mate or whatever. But yeah, the pads from Huawei, those are priced similarly. They also run Android 10, which I assume this is on Android 10 actually. Let me just quickly check about tablet, and we've got, where is the info? Software info? There we go, Android 10. Now it is not the newest Android, just keep that in mind. I think right now we have Android 11 rolling out on like majority of the phones, and Google is already, I think, on the works or close to release for Android 12. So this would make this device be basically 2 Androids behind in this case. But still nice that it actually uses Android 10 instead of something even older. And apart from that, there's not much more I can say about it. It looks like it has Samsung's One UI, which I guess is also a good positive right here. The price is fairly compelling considering that Samsung, they tend to overprice their devices, I would say. Just because, you know, they have the same tendencies of Apple syndrome, so make it more of a price because Samsung, no other reason. But in this case, I would say that this seems to be competitively priced to other tablets. The charger, I would really like to see a better charging here. That'll probably make this tablet a little bit better. And honestly, when you're getting a tablet, I would probably recommend you to go for something like around like $200 instead of the $130 that this one costs. You'll get far greater processor in those, better display, basically everything better. This one seems a little bit, it is basically cheap and it basically has all the specs of such a device as you'd expect, but personally, if you're planning to use this on a daily basis, do yourself a favor and go a little bit higher. Have that better processor and better RAM. This will just make the experience of using such a device far more enjoyable than trying to use this one, especially when you load it up with apps. I presume it's gonna start chugging hard, and that won't be very enjoyable. So do yourself a favor and go a little bit higher. That is just my recommendation. But that being said, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.